Hello everybody, Maven here, and I'm finally doing a build I've been wanting to do for a long time because I finally got my hands on the God Roll. It's a build based around the Mint Retrograde Rocket Pulse Rifle. As you know, this is the best weapon in the game right now. Everybody's using it on every type of build. People are one-phasing the Witness with it. The problem though is that it eats through ammo like I eat through peanut butter cups. But today we are building entirely around the ammo stat, so that we never run out of ammo with this thing. The configuration I came up with, you can basically run around with this thing with infinite ammo and use it as a primary, and it just trivializes the game. It turns the game into easy mode. It's so good. So let me explain it. Hope you enjoy. Shout out to our sponsor, Advanced GG, the #1 gaming supplement in the world. Use code MAVEN at checkout for 10% off. Link down below. Thank you. Alright, now here are the Mint Retrograde rolls. Obviously, if you wanted one strictly for DPS, something like Envious Bait or Rewind Bait is clearly going to be the God Roll, but it gets a little bit different when it comes to the general play infinite ammo God Roll. Alright, so since this weapon is so incredibly strong, Bungie gave it a relatively small ammo generation stat. As you can see down here in the bottom right, it is 24 at base, which is not good. But look at what happens when I put on Envious Arsenal. It goes up by 20, up to 44. And then I put on Chain Reaction, it goes up by another 20, up to 64. And if you put on the mod Abundant Ammo, it goes up to 76. However, we are not going to be running Abundant Ammo. Instead, we're going to be running Temporal Blast because, as you know, this perk is kind of wrecking the game at the moment. So I'll show you what it does here on the Ahab Char auto rifle. So you can see that as I deal damage, it's going to rack up those stacks at the bottom left with Temporal Blast, and once it gets to 5, my next shot is going to cause an explosion that does a boatload of damage, 459 damage. Look at that number compared to the actual number we're hitting with our bullets. Like, you get like a full magazine's worth of damage just right out the gates like that. It's incredibly powerful, and I wouldn't be surprised if Bungie nerfed this in the near future. But this perk is even stronger on the Mint Retrograde above all things, because if you blink, you'll miss it. Look at the Temporal Blast stacks on the bottom left. They instantly go up and detonate in one single shot, one single 3-round burst. If you land all 3 shots in that burst, it will proc Temporal Blast and give you 482 free damage, just extremely upping your DPS out of that. And that is why the Mint Retrograde is like the strongest weapon in the game right now, and people are one-phasing raid bosses with it. So if we're going to build into the ammo stat, 64 is not going to be enough. So what are we going to do about that? Well, if you take a look over here at our mods, we have double strand ammo generation on our chest. Now, there is a misconception about how these things work. You would imagine that if I put double stasis ammo generation, that when I get kills with my Mint Retrograde, it generate more ammo for my slammer, right? Well, that's not actually how it works. It's just going to give you 20 plus ammo generation to weapons of that element. Each mod granting plus 20, so I have 2 of them. So it's just going to give plus 40 ammo generation to the stat on my Mint Retrograde, making it 100. And then additionally to that, we have these special ammo finders on our helmet, which are not additive like these, they're multiplicative scalars. So each one is going to reduce the required kills to generate an ammo brick by 1 per mod. But it doesn't stop there. If you take a look at my armor, you might notice something. These are all last discipline armor pieces that come from the Crucible. Now, if you take a look at what they do, when you have 4 pieces equipped, picking up an orb of power, it grants special ammo progress. And it still doesn't stop there. If you take a look at my weapon stat, I have 187 in weapons, and it gives me an 87% chance to get a large ammo brick, which is going to grant more ammo than normal. You should definitely get this stat to 200 if you can, so you have that guaranteed 100% chance of getting a larger ammo brick. So safe to say this is like the neediest build that I've ever made. Like, I don't even have it completed yet. I gotta get this to 200. Like, you gotta farm Crucible for this armor. You gotta make sure it has like high weapon stats, so you put this gunner mod on your ghost, and then you also got to get the God Roll for this. Like, it is a very tough build to put together, but if you can put it together, it's a very strong build. And then it has like insane survival, because with the Precious Scars, Final Blows from a Mint Retrograde grant us restoration, and then on top of Banner of War, like the amount of healing you're getting per second is just insane. So let me show you an example of how fast this build can generate ammo. So I'm going to start by proc and Reaper, putting that barricade. and start getting some kills on these goblins. And on red bar trash mobs, which grant the least progress, I only have to kill 5 goblins and then pick up 3 orbs of power, and that is enough to entirely fill my special meter and grant me a brick of special that is going to grant me 7 ammo when I pick it up because it is a large brick. So it only cost me 3 shots and I get 7 back. So it's just like straight up infinite if you're just going on a rampage with your Mint Retrograde. And when you kill yellow bars, they grant even more progress. Like, take a look at when I kill these yellow bars, like each yellow bar kill is giving me like a half of my special ammo bar meter progress. Like, it's just insanely fast when you kill higher tier combatants like elites and majors and mini bosses and such, which Mint Retrograde has no trouble doing because it's the strongest weapon in the game, especially with that Temporal Blast mod. So in the background gameplay, I was able to do like a solo fire team ops Grandmaster, like 29 power below, and just breeze through it with my insane healing from Banner of War and Precious Scars, just like using my Mint Retrograde as a primary and never running out of ammo. Like I said in the intro, it trivializes the game, makes it so easy to just breeze through anything in your path. And you can conserve ammo even more with the fact that this is Strand Titan. So you have like the grapple and like the 3 frenzied blade charges, just punching things left and right whenever you get the opportunity to proc heavy-handed on your gloves, make more orbs that way, get orbs for a special finder. Speaking of which, taking a look at the rest of our mods here, special ammo finder is kind of what this is based around. That's why we got stacks on the boots and charged up on the chest to help out with the armor charge situation, making orbs via siphon, heavy-handed, reaper, and then we can scoop up the orbs of powerful attraction. Got recuperation on our boots for more healing as well, impact induction for more grapple spam, and then a strand loader on the gloves. And now let's go over the rest of our subclass here. So our other aspect besides Banner of War is Into the Fray. So it's just for woven mail and like melee regen, but it's not the most required thing in the world since we're more focusing on gunplay with this build. So you can run like Drenger's Lash or Fletched Storm if you wanted to. And then for our fragments here, we got Thread of Fury, just for more melee energy when we throw tangles, Thread of Warding to get more woven mail up when we grab Orbs of Power, Thread of Ascent so we can reload our weapon when we go for a grapple, and then Thread of Generation for more grapple energy. And then taking a look at our loadout here, this is what I ultimately ended up on, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you have Mint Retrograde, the other weapons like literally do not matter because you're just going to be maining the Mint Retrograde 99% of the time. But I am using the Sunshot to stun unstoppable champions and then the Slammer. And with this loadout, I can deal with all 3 champions because we got Anti-Barrier Pulse Rifle, Unstoppable Hand Cannon, and then my Slammer has Cold Steel, which stuns overloads. So that's all 3 champions covered right there while allowing me to still Eager Edge skate, which is awesome. And that basically does it for the build. Like, seriously, this build makes the game like into easy mode, but it's just so difficult to put this build together. Like, you gotta play Crucible for like 8 hours to like farm up this armor. Make sure you have that gunner mod on your ghost, by the way. And then whenever Mint Retrograde is like the focus of Pinnacle Ops, get a group in there, farm it until you get the God roll. But if you do not play Titan, you can easily adapt this build over to Hunter or Warlock as well, because all you really need is that Crucible armor and then like double special finder on the helmet and double strand generation on the chest, and you can do this on any class. On Warlock, a thing that would synergize perfectly with this setup is going to be like the Verity's Brow, because you're getting all those strand weapon final blows, and that's just going to boost your grapple like crazy and make it do like double damage and recharge very quickly. So that's a solid thing there. For Hunter, you got a lot of options when it comes to strand, but something that comes to mind for Hunter is probably like the Foe Tracer or whatever, because you're going to be melting a lot of majors with this thing, so you're going to have some synergy there. But anyways, if you'd like to try the Titan version, as always, I'll leave the dim loadout link down below in the description and also the pinned comment if you want to give it a try. And if you got any buddies who are Titan mains, or even any type of player for that matter, consider sharing this video with them. That'd be greatly appreciated. If you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, drop a comment, helps out a ton. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Would love to have you here for more Edge of Fate content on the way, and I'll catch you in the next video. See you later.